So there used to be a foolproof playbook for building a SaaS business. Build a slick UI, charge per seat, do content, land 50 customers, then 200, then 1,000. That model built a generation of software giants. But right now, a structural flaw is tearing that playbook apart. And it's not AI is coming for your SaaS. That's just noise. The real shift is much more tactical. And it comes down to a few cold hard facts. AI agents don't hire a team that you can upsell. They show up with an API key, do the work of an entire department, and just leave. And wish you luck running a per seat business when one API key replaces 50 employee accounts. Yet, the SaaS founders are still thinking, how do I save my per seat pricing? The right question is, what all should I change in my product if I knew for certain that nobody would ever click a button again in my app? Because AI agents won't. And to be honest, that's a terrifying thought if your entire business model is built on the assumption that humans will use the product. But if you're starting from scratch today, that realization is your unfair advantage. Because this isn't just another tech cycle. What shifted over the last 18 months completely rewired how software communicates. Before late 2024, connecting an AI agent to software required custom code for every single interaction. Then came MCP, Model Context Protocol. Think of it as USB Type-C for artificial intelligence. One universal standard for any tool connection. And it didn't stop there. Then Google released Agent-to-Agent Protocol, letting agents talk directly to each other autonomously. When agents talk directly across standard protocols, the traditional software application layer stops being a destination. It becomes invisible and obsolete. The funny thing is, we have seen this playbook play out before. Think about what happened in the 2000s. Amazon commoditized retail. The storefront stopped being the differentiator and the moat moved to logistics. In the 2010s, AWS commoditized server infrastructure. The hardware stopped mattering and the moat moved to data. Today, AI agents are commoditizing the application layer. Think about it. If an agent can pull data from apps seamlessly, your choice of software doesn't matter anymore. The UI ceases to be a moat. The agent cares only about what your service delivers per call. So let's talk about the 4 layers of building software for the AI native world. Layer 1 is your data layer, your system of record. Every transaction, every outcome, every piece of context. This is the sticky part because it accumulates. A copycat can copy your code. They cannot copy your data history. Layer 2 is deterministic business logic. This is your actual IP, the strict deterministic rules, calculations, workflows that turn data into reliable output. Layer 3 is the MCP server. This is your agent accessible surface area, a clean open protocol that any autonomous agent can discover and invoke. Layer 4 is an optional human UI. Yes, optional. You might build a dashboard for human oversight and auditing, but make no mistake, that interface is no longer the product. It's a debugging tool. To see how this 4-layer framework works in practice, let's pick on Calendly, meeting scheduling. Calendly built a massive business around this by giving humans a clean UI. But an AI agent managing your calendar does not need a page to click through. So you bypass the UI completely and just deploy an MCP server. It handles the deterministic logic like checking buffers, time zones, availability, and returns a confirmed booking. You charge a cent per transaction. No UI, no sales team, one developer, a week of work, and every scheduling agent on earth calls your service constantly. Now, the pricing page for a business like this looks absolutely nothing like traditional SaaS. You essentially have 3 options. First, per interaction pricing per API call. Second, per outcome pricing if the outcomes are valuable and consistent. And third, tiered platform subscription priced for agent consumption and not for human seats. Even with all of this, one last question remains. If there is no UI, no sign-up page, no onboarding flow, how do customers even find the product? And this is where it actually gets very interesting, because customers are not humans anymore. Customers are AI agents that would decide autonomously which service to use. There are already public MCP registries like Smithy, Glama, MCP.so, and enterprise-specific catalogs like Microsoft Foundry and Azure API Center. These are the new marketing channels. Your MCP server registers in one of these directories. An agent looking for a scheduling service queries the directory, finds you, reads your capability card, and tries one call. And if it works, it keeps calling. Winning here looks a lot like winning early on the App Store. The developers who came on top weren't the ones with massive ad budgets. They were the ones who ranked the highest in search. Except in this world, you win by owning your category's namespace, maintaining a flawless manifest, and delivering consistent correctness. That is your marketing. That is your SEO. So if you're launching a software business right now, you may not need a UI. You may not need a fortress of endless features. Your true defensive moat is your outcome history. Anyone can mimic your API endpoints, but no one can clone the specific transactional data and the real-world feedback loops you accumulate. Per seat pricing is not completely dead. Categories where a human genuinely needs to be in the loop will keep it on life support. But the direction is unmistakable. As a founder, here's the question I need you to sit with. If you knew for certain within the next 3 years, nobody will ever click a button in your SaaS again, what would you build differently starting tomorrow? Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.